That was different. You make a living doing this?
We're a bit rusty, and it's been a long day.
Yeah, sure thing. By the way, that song could be considered offensive in the Republic. This isn't Pacifica. People here don't like politics with their entertainment. What's your band name?
We're the Dustborn.
You mentioned how America is a bit of a melting pot there, and you've got a very diverse array of characters. There's a lot of focus in the industry at the moment on making sure that characters that do come from different backgrounds are kind of authentically represented. How have you approached that challenge with Dustborn?
That's an interesting question because, as you probably know, like there are a lot of gamers in the world who are unhappy with games that have characters that don't necessarily look like gaming characters used to look 10, 20, 30 years ago. We really set out to create a cast of characters that just feel like a representation of the world as it is today and America as it is. You know, it's diverse. It's not just filled with people who look like me. And that's also why we've sort of tapped into the cast. We have writers who are more representative of the characters in the game, and trying to sort of just learn more and try to create a more diverse cast than most games have. Just because we think it's more interesting, it's the right thing to do, and I think the stories that come out of it are also, you know, they're more original, they're more interesting, I think.
What can I do for you this time, man?
You mentioned that you don't engage with the negativity, and there is a lot of that online. On the flip side of that is that stories that do make diverse casts more prominent actually, and they mean a lot to other people who aren't kicking off about it. Has anyone already got in touch with you more along those lines?
Not with Dustborn yet. I think maybe when it's out and a bit more out in the world that will happen, but definitely with other stuff I've done like The Expanse, because I mean I kind of hate buzzwords and buzz sentences like representation matters, but they do come from somewhere, and I think there's nothing quite like seeing yourself on screen or in a game, or if you've never ever seen it before, or even if you have just different versions of it that isn't stereotypical. And so for me that always matters more than any negative feedback, because I'm just like, you know, normally the people who are negative about it's not for them, and I won't really stand for it, to be honest. I'm from the East End. Like, if y'all want to hit me up on social media and do some of that nonsense, like, go ahead and try. I'm not the one.
Hi. Hello. Hi, officer.
I think there's kind of a bit of a misunderstanding on the part of some players. You mentioned there's some gamers that do get a bit upset when they see maybe people who don't look like game characters used to. There's often suggestion that these things are kind of forced in. Where do you sort of sit on that?
Yeah, people say that we sort of like we've been forced to have a diverse guy. I wonder who forced us to do that, because it's definitely I wasn't aware of that. I mean, I think publishers and developers are just understanding more of that there's a wider and more diverse audience out there. Games are becoming more global. Games are becoming more accessible to everyone, and that means the audience changes. Unfortunately, there is pushback. I mean, it's very few people, but those people are unfortunately very loud and angry and upset. But, you know, there's room for different games and different stories and different people. And we're just making one game that will hopefully find an audience. You know, we just want to sort of stand out and do something that is, different from everything else out there.